Greetings all, El Grinnell here with TrueSpeak, bringing you the All Things Happy and Healthy vlog again. I'm so happy that you're continuing to join me on this third leg of how to bring more serendipity and luck and fortuitous happenstance into your life. Those are just words that are so fun to say. I'm sure tired of hearing me say that, but say them. They're fun. You're gonna laugh too, I promise. Okay. Anyhow, so you've already learned in the past two vlogs that the way to increase your luck is by setting a very high intentional morning vibration. So before your feet hit the floor, and then also to give thanks big and small throughout the day for those things that are just amazing and wonderful. If you walked by somewhere and you could smell the flowers on the bush or whatever, just take a moment and say, wow, thank you, that was amazing. Start feeling in to how amazing your life is already by giving thanks often. And then to get away from the radiation of your devices, get outside and get into nature for the grounding. A person who is grounded is going to be a luckier, happier, healthier person because your vibration is then set to match with the earth, to match with growth and all of that type of thing that is as humans essential. Okay, I'm getting off track. So, and then last week we learned for you to lean into the success of all the luck you already possess. Most of us are lucky in multiple areas of our life, and we just kind of write it off. Like, I'm super lucky at roulette, and people always tell me that's the worst odds, and I'm like, I don't care. I win every time I play. So lean into how that feels. Your luck when you get whatever it is, when you win the raffle, when you get the good parking spot, when you find money blowing down the street that you grab. Stop for a minute and go, damn, I'm lucky. And when people say, oh, you're always so lucky, da 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 da, say, I know, right? I am, and it's wonderful. So last week was more about the emotions of that and why that's really important, because emotions are the conduit for all things that we desire, for better or for worse. So we want to desire that really amazing stuff. Okay, so today's your last tip is possibly harder than it sounds. And I'm only saying that because as I was training in this, I was getting a lot of pushback from folks, especially older people, people my age in their 50s, 60s, and older. And that is, in order to raise your serendipity and to have more luck flow to you easily and freely under grace in abundance, is to keep the stories alive and to celebrate. So the celebration is the hard part. So for some people, so anytime something goes well, you win something, you find something, how like you find money in a pocket and you're like, woo, celebrate that, right? And then tell people. So number one, celebrate your lucky situations and circumstances. Celebrate your wins. Celebrate when you're in the right place at the right time, or when serendipity taps you on the shoulder and you answer to get what you want. And then share those stories. Share them because it keeps the vibration high and alive. And a positive vibration, like a negative one, is contagious. So let's spread a positive contagion around the planet. When you share your stories, other people love that. And they're like, dang. And then they reinforce, oh, you're so lucky. You're like, I know, right? So you're making this true for yourself. You're making the neuroplasticity in your mind accept that you are always a lucky person. And you, in generally in life, you get what you want. And so, I think that this is difficult because some people think that this is bragging. Okay. And it's only bragging if your intention is to make somebody else feel jealous or envious. Okay, now you're getting yourself in a negative spiral and you're attaching that to yourself, and it's sticky and it's icky. So I'm talking about celebrating your stories because you're excited to share and you want to light up other people as well. So I'm just going to give you a couple of my top ones that I still talk about, and some of them are decades old. So the first time was when my youngest child, we wanted to go to Sesame Street on ice, but at the time I was a procrastinator and I didn't get us tickets. So I went on the day of the event to get us tickets, and it sold out. Duh, some of you are saying. And so I was like, well, always been a lucky person. So I was keeping my intentions high, and I was like, yeah, it's sold out, but we'll figure it out, or I'll go, and maybe there'll be some decent scalping tickets or whatever. So I had not closed the door on going. And I kid you not, later that day we were grocery shopping. So she was sitting in the front little part where the kids sit, and we were in line, and we were talking about Sesame Street on Ice. And I was telling, reiterating how it might go. Both sides of the story. This lady taps me on the shoulder behind, and she said, "You don't have tickets to Sesame Street on Ice." And I said, "No, we don't, but we're probably going to get some this evening." And see, I still hadn't given up. And she said, "I have two that I cannot use because my granddaughter is sick. Would you like them?" I said, "I would love to buy them from you." And I was like welling up with tears. I was so grateful. I was just so joyous. And she says, "No, I cannot accept the money. I would like to keep the flowing of the giving and the receiving. That means a lot to me." And I was just blown away. Anyhow, so we went to Sesame Street on Ice for free, sold out event. And that's why I love to keep telling that story, because it just seems what some people would call unbelievable. And it's only unbelievable if you don't believe that things like that are possible and they happen on a regular basis. Another story is I had some friends visiting, and they're huge fans of Friends, the TV show. And so we tried to get in, and we didn't know the taping, to see the taping live. And we didn't know it was like a cliffhanger one season ending, and so there were tons and tons of people there, so we did not get in, and my friends were really disappointed and stuff. I'm like, hold on everybody, let's just stay. And they're like, no, they said it's sold, there's no more seats. And I'm like, okay, you all go do what you want and come back for me in 3 hours. And so they all stayed. And then about 10 minutes later, an intern comes over and goes, "How many in your party?" And there were actually 3 of us, and we said 3, and they're like, "Great, come with me." We got in. We saw the taping. And so that's the kind of thing that happens when you have your expectations and you share those stories. Another time we were on a trip to England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales in March, and everybody said it rains, 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 rains. It's going to be gloomy. It's going to be cold, this and that. Well, the whole time we were there expecting good weather, it was phenomenal. It was fabulous. The sun was shining. Everywhere we went, the locals were going, "This weather is amazing. It's never like this in March." We were like, yeah, we know. We brought the good weather from Honolulu. So anyhow, I hope those stories are helping you get the idea of what I mean about how you can create your own serendipity, how you can create your own luck and be lucky, with love, with money, with timing, with whatever it is that you desire, because you deserve it. And you deserve it when you have the expectation and your mind is in the right place to be accepting. Okay, so remember to subscribe and like. Love to hear any stories. If you still feel unlucky and you have put some of these into practice, even if it's just one, then we need to chat, because I can help you flip that on a dime, so to speak. So again, info@truespeak.us, or text me 808-201-1140, and I'll get you on my calendar. Okay, so until then, stay happy and healthy, my friends, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week.